Hello students, as you have read about the three different classes or class division of the French society in the last year class 10th in chapter French Revolution, and these three classes were called first state, second state and the third state, and this division was originated during the medieval time period of the European society, especially in the French society. The French priest believed in the concept that people were members of one of the three orders, depending on their work. A bishop stated, here below some pray, others fight, still others work. It means the three orders of society were broadly the clergy, the nobility, and the peasantry. In this chapter, we will discuss firstly about the first order, and this first order, that is called the clergies, and you will find this topic on page number 137 in your book. The Catholic Church had its own laws on the lands given to it by rulers and could levy taxes. It was thus a very powerful institution which did not depend on the king. At the head of the Western Church was the Pope. He lived in Rome. The Christians in Europe were guided by bishops and clerics who constituted the first order. Means in the first order, the clergies, priest, bishop or pope, means all the religious leaders or religious head of the Christianity, these were the member of first order. Most villages had their own church where people assembled every Sunday to listen the sermon by the priest and to pray together. Everyone could not become a priest. Serfs were banned, as were the physically challenged. Women could not become priests. Men who became priests could not marry. Bishops were the religious nobility, like lords who owned vast landed estates. The bishops also had the use of vast estates and lived in the grand palaces. The church was entitled to a tenth share of the whatever the peasants produced from their land over the course of the year, called a tithe. Money also came in the form of the endowments made by the rich for their own welfare and the welfare of their deceased relatives in the afterlife. Some of the important ceremonies conducted by the church copied formal customs of the feudal elite. The act of kneeling while praying with hands clasped and head bowed was an exact replica of the way in which a knight conducted himself while taking vows of the loyalty to his lord. Thus, the religious and the lay worlds of feudalism shared many customs and symbols. After the first state, there was the second order or the nobility, and you will find this topic on page number 135, the second order nobility. Priests placed themselves in the first order and nobles in the second. The nobility had, in reality, a central role in social processes. This is because they controlled land, This control was the outcome of a practice called vassalage. The kings of France were linked to the people by vassalage and similar to the practice among the Germanic peoples, of whom the Franks were one. The big landowners, the nobles, were vassals of the king, and peasants were vassals of the landowners. A nobleman accepted the king as his seigneur, and they made a mutual promise. The senior lord would protect the vassal who would be loyal to him. This relationship involved elaborate rituals and exchange of vows taken on the Bible in a church. At this ceremony, the vassal received a written charter or a stuff of the even a clod of earth as a symbol of the land that was being given to him by the master. The noble enjoyed a privileged status. He had absolute control over his property in a perpetual. He could raise troops called the feudal levies. The lord held his own courts of justice and could even coin his own money. He was the lord of all the people settled on his land. He owned vast tracts of land which contained his own dwellings, his private fields and pastures, and the homes and fields of his tenant peasants. A lord had his own manor house. He also controlled villages. Some lords controlled hundreds of villages where peasants lived. A small manorial estate could contain a dozen of families, while larger estates might include 50 or 60. Almost everything needed for daily life was found in the estate. Grain was grown in the fields. Blacksmiths and carpenters maintained the lord's implements and repaired his weapons. From the ninth century, there were frequent localized wars in Europe. The amateur peasant soldiers were not sufficient and good cavalry were needed. This led to the growing importance of a new section of people, the knights. They were linked to the lords just as the latter were linked to the king. The lord gave the knight a piece of land called the fief and promised to protect it. The fief could be inherited. It extended to anything between 1,000 and 2,000 acres or more, including a house for the knight and his family, a church and other establishments to the house his dependents, besides a water mill and a wine press.